move up.
Okay. You all set, Chantal? Thank you, everybody, for coming for this. We shouldn't be too long. We just want to go over the procedure bylaw. We just want to have everyone's opinion on it there to move it on to the new council. So, first of all, we call the meeting to order. Any of the conflicts of interest? Seeing none. Approval of the agenda? Moved by Mayor Brown, second by... Oh, sorry, Councillor Rivard. Approval of the minutes? Moved by Councillor Rivard, second by Mayor Brown. And discussion items, we'll go right into it to report. A procedure bylaw. Am I taking it or you taking it? This. Yes, okay, if you don't mind.
The chair has asked me to review the procedural bylaw. A number of councillors have expressed that they would like to see the council advisory committee disbanded, and that the authority to create the committees and the terms of reference be reverted to the mayor, as it has always been in the past, up until 2018 period. What I did was I was able, with the help of Chantal and Cindy, to find what was the procedural bylaw that was sent to the city from the province in 2017, 18, in that range. And in that, the wording was such that it was either mayor or council. In 2018, I guess, before you people took office, before this council took office, the previous council determined to give it to the council and created the council advisory committee, period. I'm sorry, period. What is proposed to you here is what the province prepared previously, only giving it to the mayor. If you are, the chair also said he had no interest in, he thought it was inappropriate 4 years ago for the old council to do it, and he suggested that it should be the new council doing it. So therefore, I am suggesting that if you are interested, you would make a recommendation, and the first reading papers would be presented I've checked with His Worship, on a December 8th council meeting. Second reading would be at a December 12th council meeting, and then the mayor would be able to set up the committees as he saw fit, and the terms of reference. That's basically what this document is all about.
Okay. Just a clarification.
Yes, Councillor Twill, go ahead.
Thank you. First and foremost, regardless of whether it's the mayor or the current AC committee that makes a recommendation to council, it's still voted on by resolution of city council. Is that correct?
Yes, you will see in 42.1 in front of you.
Yeah,
The
right.
mayor may, by resolution, establish standing in our act that will consider.
So it is, when you look at it, when you take it to its ultimate conclusion, it's still the council that makes the final decision, regardless of whether recommendations come from the mayor's office or from the AC. Like council would say, yes, we accept the AC or the mayor's recommendations, or council, by virtue of vote, say, we don't accept. I'm just looking at the format here, Donna. So, and I bring this up because prior to amalgamation, if you look at the old City of Charlottetown Act, just what happened, the mayor met with councilors, but a resolution was passed by city council to approve the appointments to the various standing committees. That was the procedure. You and I had that conversation back a number of months ago, and that's always been the format. So do I understand there still has to be a resolution passed by city council, regardless of where the recommendations come from?
I think if you wanted to be more. If you wanted more clarity, I would suggest that in 42.2, you would, the mayor may also by resolution designate the committee's mandate term composition, because that says the composition of the committees there, so you would probably want to put that in. It wasn't in what was sent from the province. I did not make any changes.
So, again, we're gonna move this on, but
In
again,
this one, it says that the mayor will establish the standing committees. There'll be a committee, a protective services committee, establish the committees. The second
Right.
part is that the mayor will designate the committee's mandate term composition. So it isn't, it doesn't say that, it would be by, it doesn't say by resolution in that.
so should it not say
That's up,
required by resolution?
That's up to this committee,
I don't know, I bring it forward because
I would-
if you look at it from like I said, from a historical sense, prior to amalgamation, in the old City of Charlottetown Act, when we had our own act, I wasn't on council, but I used to attend the council meetings, it was always done by resolution of city council.
I can't speak to before 1995, but I know that the former mayor did it by, I know the mayor since amalgamation did it by resolution, established the committee and the members.
By resolution? Mm-hmm. Okay, so are we still looking at that same format, by resolution?
Is that what's part of the package?
That's not what's part of the package. This is just what the province provided. You can put what you can put it in if,
It's just something that,
well,
no, if you look at it from a historical perspective, it was always done by resolution.
Councilor Rivera.
Thank you, Chair Ramsey. So for me, talking about the CAC committee, I mean, I think the intent initially was that, it was going to be built. It was going to be done in a way where we'd have collaboration and work kind of in unison, if you will, for the 4 years. I don't think the CAC turned out to be that at all. I think it was used as I'll say a committee of power of if you will. Anyways, I do believe it played a huge role in the separation of council within the chambers and some of the members. So I don't think the CAC committee is, I would look to abolish it, remove it, and absolutely give the authority back to the mayor to put committees together. I think it goes a long way in keeping the group together. So for the next council, I wish them the best, but that would be my recommendation. So I'll move the motion.
Just wanted to expand on that. I too, at that time, supported the formation of the Council Advisory Committee based on the logic that there would be collaboration amongst all members of City Council. That the committee, which the mayor is a part of, mayor sits in all standing committees and has a vote, that there would be true collaboration, consultation, that we would do things in a very harmonious way. And it wasn't, I think, Greg, to use your words, if you don't mind, you said it publicly, and I agreed with you, when you said it became the self-serving committee. That's what it became. And, there were members of council that were isolated. I guess politics being what it is, isolated, and, members of council were put in a very uncompromising, I'll underline that, exclamation mark, uncompromising positions as opposed to some members of council were collaborated with. Obviously, some weren't. And I think that was certainly a downfall of council. When committees are appointed, I think you said too, Greg, if you don't mind, you put people in their positions of strength so that they can excel and do what's best for the city. It's not to say just because you appoint a number of standing committees, you're not going to have a diverse opinions around the council table, because that's what it's all about. It's about public policy is made by having diverse opinions around the table, the best form of public policy, regardless of whether it's planning or whether it's public works, any one of the standing committees, any one of the services we provide to the residents in this city. Your best form of public policy, what I've learned in my education, is that you have a diverse opinions around the council chamber. You take all of those opinions and you formulate it into one and make the best public policy for the constituency. That's what I've learned, unless my education has changed, and I don't think it has. So having said that, it was extremely unfortunate that the advisory committee didn't fulfill that spirit that we kind of look forward to, and that cooperation and that harmony. So I'm willing to move this on to the next council to have further dialogue. I think that's being proactive, and I certainly, I certainly move it forward.
All right, Councillor Drawn, do you have any comments or opinions?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, I guess the bottom line is that we're looking for a recommendation, am I correct, Donna and Your Worship, to move it on to the new council on December 8th, and, pardon? I moved already, I think. Oh, yes, okay. All right. Moved by Councillor Rivard, second by Councillor Tweel then, to move on to the new council on December 8th.
Yeah.
For further discussions.
Councillor Ramsey,
sorry.
just before we move on, just what was said by Councillors Rivard and Tweel. I sat at all those meetings, and I saw, that firsthand what was happening. And I think Councillor Rivard said maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, it's difficult to have peers make judgment to judge their peers. If that's correct, Councillor Rivard, and I think that holds true to what happened here. But I know, Councillor Tweel, that the discussions I've had over the last week with all the councillors has been a one-on-one dialogue, and it's not clandestine. I've been made very clear and open about what my plan is, because as you know, the mayor is voted by all the citizens of Charlottetown. It's not like a councillor for Ward 4, a councillor for Ward 5, or Ward 6. So it gives a different perspective. But I don't think that I want to be butting heads or taking on certain councillors because of my agenda or some prejudices or issues I may have of a particular person in the past. It's about moving on. And I think if we're going to move on together, and I believe there's a spirit here with the new council, McAleer, Beck, Mattart, and McKinnon, is let's work together, move forward, and cooperative, and find consensus. So I think it's all going in the right direction. And I want to thank the chair, because the chair was reluctant to have this council make that decision before move, and then I wouldn't say handcuffed, but the new council would have to deal with it. This way, the new council will be dealing with it by voting on it. So, Mr. Chair, I want to thank you for pushing it further down the road instead of trying to deal with it before the end of this council. Thank you, sir.
Worship, and the main reason I wasn't comfortable with it, because as we all heard the last 4 years, how the thing went off the rails a little bit, or we thought it did. because it was voted in by the old council. And I think this is a way of the new council getting their feet wet and seeing what's going on and understanding how the whole thing works. Because it's not fair for for 4 new councilors to come in and say, I knew nothing about that. So this way, they're going to have the information. They're going to deal with it the same way as the remaining 6. Go ahead, Councillor Rivard.
Thank you, Chair Ramsey. I just want to say this before we cast the vote. So I guess to the mayor, I would strongly encourage you, Your Worship, and which I'm hoping you will do, is again what Councillor Tweedle just mentioned. I've mentioned many times. Encourage you to make sure when you do put committees together that you do find strengths within those individuals that you're putting in the chair committee, because I can tell you that the value of having a chair that cares and wants to do the best job that they can possibly do is so beneficial to the residents of Charlottetown. When that's taken or stolen without any say, it certainly, if you look back at this 4 years, that last 2 years was a hard 2 years, and I truly believe a lot of it had to do with the CAC committee and how it was done. So again, I encourage you to make sure that you put people in positions of strength.
Okay, so what's next? Take a vote. All those in favor of moving on? Councillor Drong, you in favor?
Sure.
Okay, that's 4-0. To move it on to council on December 8th for further discussions, and is that it? The next one is a motion to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Rivard, second by Councillor Tweedle. Thank you.